Welcome back to Movies Are So Back, the YouTube movie review channel where I, Ethan Simmie, ask the question, are movies so back? 2025 is officially here. Well, it's not here for me yet when I'm making this video, but it's almost here for me. And when you see this video, 2025 will in fact be here. And hopefully we will have ourselves a very good movie year. Wikipedia currently has 119 films listed to be released in 2025. Now, those are only American films, of course. There are probably going to be some outstanding foreign films. And of those 119 American movies, only a very small fraction of them will actually be great. But which ones? I combed through all 119 movies to find 15 films releasing this year that I'm genuinely excited about, that I think could be among some of the best, most entertaining, most interesting, just outright good movies of 2025. I haven't even started the list yet, and I'm positive that I'm going to forget to mention at least one movie that I will be excited for, that others are very excited for. So if that is the case, please drop a comment below. Let me know what movie it is so I can add it to my Letterboxd list of movies that I am most excited for in 2025. But hopefully, at the end of this video, I put a few things on your radar that you might not have known about, that are low on your hype list, that can move up, or just generally encourage you to go see movies in 2025 by listing some of these titles. That's the goal here, so let's get started. Kicking off the list at number 15 is the film releasing on May 9th, Golden or Atlantis. I'm not sure because Wikipedia says one title and IMDb says another title. It's a coming-of-age musical directed by Michael Gondry, who you probably best know for winning an Academy Award for his writing on Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's based on Pharrell Williams' childhood in Virginia Beach, and while that premise honestly kind of makes me cringe and be not interested in this film whatsoever, the cast reels me back in. Just listen to who is in this movie. Kelvin Harrison Jr., Halle Bailey, Divine Joy Randolph, Brian Tyree Henry, Kinta Brunson, Janelle Monáe, Tim Meadows, Andre 3000, and others. This movie just might not be for me, honestly, and that is a reality that I might have to accept just based on my general distaste for Pharrell Williams and the projects that he chooses, but I am intrigued at this movie nonetheless, so it is going in the 15 spot here. Number 14 is a movie that I legit hadn't heard of until I started researching for this video. I just didn't even know it existed, and now I'm kind of all in on it. So yeah, number 14, it's called Roofman. This movie comes out on October 3rd, and it stars Channing Tatum. It's also got Kirsten Dunst, Ben Mendelsohn, Peter Dinklage, Uzo Aduba, and Lakeith Stanfield. It's apparently a biopic of this fugitive by the name of Jeffrey Manchester, who would steal from McDonald's restaurants by entering through the roof and then hid from police in the roof of a Toys R Us store. I mean, at the very least, it sounds interesting. It sounds fascinating. I like Channing Tatum in these more dramatic roles, so I'm very curious to see him with this subject matter. I actually think he'll do quite well. I personally do love a biopic and a thrilling biopic at that, so I'm all in on Roofman. Number 13, we're going with Mickey 17, releasing on April 18th. Now, this is Bong Joon-ho's next movie that unfortunately has been moved a handful of times and has suffered some serious behind-the-scenes drama. I'm a Bong Joon-ho supporter. I'm a Robert Pattinson boy. Plus, it's sci-fi. It's based on the 2022 novel Mickey 7, about a guy who signs up to be an expendable and disposable employee as humans strive to colonize a new planet. It's got Naomi Ackie, Steven Yeun, Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo. They're all in this movie. I'm tempering my expectations for Mickey 17. The multiple movements of release dates has me personally very nervous about what is happening. There is rumor that Bong Joon-ho did not get final cut of this film, even though he has disputed that. There's just a lot going on with Mickey 17, and I'm just like not 100% in on this movie. It could be really good. It could also be maybe not the best. Either way, I'm excited for it. It'll be fun. Okay, number 12, July 25th, Fantastic Four, The First Steps. Another movie I'm tempering my expectations for, but one that is the most exciting and a pretty lackluster MCU slate for 2025. I am curious to see what Marvel does in their first expedition into telling the story of Marvel's first family. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four nerd, and I don't know a whole lot about them, so I'm going in with a pretty limited amount of knowledge. I just know that Jessica Alba had me in a chokehold as a blossoming boy back in the day, so I'm in for whatever Fantastic Four content is coming up. Releasing on February 21st, my number 11 on this list is The Monkey. This movie looks insane. Osgood Perkins obviously coming off of the heels of Longlegs, another Neon movie of which The Monkey is the same. I was a fan of The Blackcoat's Daughter, his previous film as well. The Monkey is based on a 1980 short story from Stephen King. It follows these twin brothers who witness horrifying deaths and believe they are attributed to this monkey toy. They ditch the toy, they go their separate ways, they live their life, only for the deaths to resurface and for the brothers to embark on a mission to eliminate the cursed toy. Tatiana Maslany, Elijah Wood, and Sarah Levy, all in a dark horror flick. It might not end up being one of my favorites of the year, but it is a movie I am most looking forward to see exactly how it pans out. All right, breaking into the top 10, Sinners, March 7th. Ryan Coogler's wholly original horror film shot for IMAX is coming. Say less. Starring Michael B. Jordan as twin brothers, it's a period horror piece that is all about the evil that exists within one hometown. Look at this trailer. That is all you need to see to be sold on this movie. It's thrilling to have Ryan Coogler back, making an original movie after being locked up in the MCU machine for the past 6 years, making Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. That alone has me really amped for this one. The fact that he is going to make something that is wholly his own. I think this will be one of the most intense movie-going experiences at the cinema in 2025. I'm pretty stoked. Number 9 is Edgar Wright's newest film, The Running Man, releasing on November 21st. I'm generally a fan of Wright and the previous projects that he has made, like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World or Baby Driver, so I'm holding on to my stock. I'm really hoping that The Running Man follows in suit with what I like the most about Edgar Wright, plus the premise sounds awesome. It's a dystopian action thriller starring Glenn Powell, Katie O'Brien, Daniel Ezra, Josh Brolin, Lee Pace, William H. Macy, my guy, Michael Cera, Amelia Jones. It's a stacked cast. I mean, come on. It's set in 2025 and is about a game show called The Running Man that features people being chased around the world by murderous hunters in order to win money. That sounds insane and incredible, and I genuinely hope that Edgar Wright can pull this off, because if he does, if this movie is as good as it sounds like it could be, then this could be one of the best movies of 2025. Yorgos Lanthimos has a new movie coming out next year, because of course he does, and it's called Begonia. It's releasing on November 7th. It stars Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, and Alicia Silverstone. This is my number 8. Anytime that Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, and Yorgos Lanthimos collaborate as a trio, you know two things. It's going to be intriguing, to say the least, and it will be weird, to say the least. And I am very excited for both of those aspects about this movie. It's about two conspiracy-obsessed young men who kidnap a high-powered CEO because they believe that she is an alien intent on destroying the Earth. What the fuck? I can't tell you if it's going to be great. I can't tell you if it's even going to be good. I was pretty out on Kinds of Kindness, and I was very excited for that. But what I can tell you is, again, this movie will be interesting and intriguing, and it will be weird. Yes, please. As a pretty big fan of her directorial debut, The Lost Daughter, it should come as no surprise to see Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride on this list at number 7. It's slated to release on September 26th. It is a sci-fi musical monster movie that draws inspiration from 1935's Bride of Frankenstein. It's got one of the most stacked casts of any movie in 2025. Jessie Buckley, Christian Bale, Penelope Cruz, Peter Sarsgaard, Annette Bening, John Magaro, my guy again, Jeannie Berlin, Matthew Maher, and Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, apparently Netflix left this project and Warner Bros. Stepped in after it was revealed that after production and marketing costs, this movie would cost over $100 million. Maggie Gyllenhaal also pretty intent on getting full creative direction of The Bride, which you love to see. Girl, make your movie. I think this is awesome. So all of the puzzle pieces and drama, if you want to call it that, are shaping up to make The Bride a very good movie. I'm excited. I'm stoked to see Maggie back behind the camera. I think this movie is going to be really good. Number 6 is another movie on my list that I had not heard of until recently, and now I'm probably just going to make it my entire identity until it does come out this year. Kogonada has a new movie. All hail Kogonada. A big, bold, beautiful journey is slated to release on May 9th, and it stars Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell, the latter of whom starred in his last movie After Yang, a criminally underrated flick, to be honest. Also, shout out Kogonada for directing an episode of The Acolyte, a show that I enjoyed very much. The script for A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey is being written by Seth Reese, who also did The Menu, which is super cool. It's got a stacked cast, of course. Lily Rabe, Jodie Turner-Smith, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Billy Magnuson, Brandon Pereira, Chloe East, and Hamish Linklater. We don't really know anything about this movie other than the fact that it is a romantic fantasy, which is the case generally with Kogonada, and especially with his last movie After Yang. Again, a criminally underrated movie if you haven't seen it. And I guess the script for this movie was on the 2020 blacklist, so that's a really good sign. It's very exciting stuff, and it could very well end up being one of the most beautiful movies of 2025 at the least. Okay, the top 5 movies that I am the most excited for in 2025. Number 5, little movie by a little director named Joseph Kosinski. You might know him from Top Gun Maverick. It's F1. Brad Pitt driving fast cars, coming out on June 27th in IMAX screens. Let's go. I wasn't huge on Kosinski's last project, Spiderhead, for Netflix, but I'm back at my Top Gun Maverick levels of excitement for F1. Hans Zimmer is scoring this. It's got Brad Pitt driving F1 cars. It reportedly costs over $300 million. It's kind of hard not to get stupid excited for this movie. The premise isn't anything earth-shattering. I'll just say that. F1 driver gets in a really bad accident. Some time passes. He is called on again as a wise old sage of the F1 community to teach a younger driver how to be the best he can be. There's nothing new there, but what is new is that it's Brad Pitt driving fast cars. I will say there's one caveat to this movie. Apple is distributing this movie, which has me incredibly nervous. Apple is, in my opinion, by far and away the worst distributor out there right now. Of course, probably the only distributor that could have afforded a movie like this, but man, they have bungled some serious theatrical releases. I'm looking at you, Wolf's, another Brad Pitt movie that was supposed to go theatrically nationwide and just didn't, and Apple pulled the plug on it. So I really hope that's not the case with F1. I'm feeling confident that they're going to stick to their IMAX guns here, but it does have me a little nervous. Either way, F1, Brad Pitt driving fast cars, in case you didn't get that. Number 4, Avatar Fire and Ash, coming out on December 19th. There's honestly not a ton to say here. Who isn't excited for this movie? James Cameron taking us back to Pandora with concept art that looks freaking awesome. All praise James Cameron, all praise the Na'vi, all praise Avatar. Honestly, it's as simple as that. I don't need to go into any more detail for Avatar. Number 3 on this list, and it's something that you guys are not going to be happy with, so I apologize in advance. You will not be thrilled with this pick. It's Saw 11, coming out on September 26th. I know what you're thinking. Who cares? Who gives a damn about the 11th installment in the Saw franchise? This guy does. Where's my Saw hive at? I dug Saw 10. I thought it was actually one of the best of the franchise. So yeah, of course I'm excited for Saw 11. Kevin Grudert, who directed Saw 6, Saw 3D, and Saw 10, will be returning to direct Saw 11, which is currently up in the air, I guess, about being a direct sequel to Saw 10 or not. Marcus Dunstan, who wrote those very same Saw installations with Kevin, is also returning to write the script. Could be terrible. Could be perfectly okay. Could be fucking epic. I don't know. It's a real gamble with Saw 11, but I am so excited. Okay, number 2, it's called One Battle After Another. This is Paul Thomas Anderson's next movie coming out on August 8th. It is starring Leonardo DiCaprio, someone that I've been hoping would work with PTA for a long time now, along with Regina Hall, Sean Penn, Alana Haim, in what I believe is her first film since PTA's Licorice Pizza, super exciting, Teyana Taylor, and Benicio del Toro. Here's the thing about this movie, I know nothing about it. It is rumored to be loosely based on Thomas Pynchon's novel Vineland, a book that I've never read. But other than that, the movie is still pretty under wraps. It's slated to be PTA's most expensive movie to date with a budget of more than $140 million, which is pretty sick. It's also shot on 35mm using VistaVision cameras. Everything about this movie has me not only intrigued, but incredibly excited. Should I read this book before seeing this movie? I genuinely don't know. That's a real question. I usually do not read books before I see a film, but I feel like maybe this is the movie to like mix up that idea with. I just don't know. I kind of feel like I don't want to go into this movie super blind because then I might be doing myself a disservice. I don't know. Let me know. Drop a comment. Should I read Vineland, the book, before seeing PTA's new movie? And apparently this will be getting an IMAX release nationwide, so that is pretty sick. All right, the moment that you've been waiting for, the single movie that I am the most excited for in 2025. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. It's happening. It's happening. Tom Cruise, our cinematic Lord and Savior, is coming once again to grace the screens, to resurrect the box office with Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This movie was originally billed as Dead Reckoning Part 2, the title changed, and now we are, in theory, getting the final Mission Impossible installment, even though we know that's probably not going to happen, even though we know that Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie know that that is actually not going to happen. The entire Mission Impossible squad is back for this one, and just based on the trailer, I'm going to probably be crying the entire time. There's no known runtime yet. We only have one poster and one trailer, and I gotta be honest, this might be a hot take, but I hope it stays that way. I hope that this movie goes dark. I hope that we know nothing else about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning until it comes out on May 23rd. Don't give anything away. Let all major character beats and stunts be a complete and total mystery. My biggest gripe with Dead Reckoning was that we saw the cliff jump 1,000 times before we saw it in the movie on an IMAX screen. Can you imagine how epic it would be if we sat down to watch The Final Reckoning and every stunt was a complete mystery and we just had our brains melted into our bodies? I can't wait. I just can't wait. So there you have it, the 15 movies that I am the most excited for in 2025. Which movies are you most excited for? Are you really excited for a movie that didn't make my list? Let me know if that is the case. Drop a comment below. So of course, are movies so back? Well, the fact that I did finish this video by talking about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning makes me want to say yes. And the fact that we are getting a new original PTA movie, an original Ryan Coogler movie, a good year for horror it's looking like, all of these things make me want to say yes. But some of these movies on this list are a complete toss-up. They are a complete gamble that might not pay off. So with both of those sides, I will say that movies are back for now. Remember to like and subscribe. You can also follow me on Letterboxd, and I'll see you in the next video.